Well, it is Tuesday, July 14th, and it is night number 2 of Western Sprint Tour at the Willamette Speedway. Welcome back to today's video. Night number 2 of Oregon Speed Week. Last night we competed at the Coos Bay Speedway in Coos Bay, Oregon, right along the Oregon coast, and ended up running 4th after starting on the front row. Our results on paper were a solid start to our week, and I think it's something we can build off of. We really struggled in our 360 at Dirt Cup, had a couple weeks off. Carly ran. Now that we got everything back together, it seems like we've gained our speed back and we're going in the right direction. Now, the Willamette Speedway is a 1/3 clay mile oval located here in Lebanon, Oregon, just an hour north of Cottage Grove, and it's one of the most top-notch facilities we have in the Pacific Northwest. They are going to be able to pack over 1,000 people in the grandstands tonight, and if you kind of pan here with me as the wind's picking up, you can just see the whole facility as the pit area is over that direction. Wide racetrack typically gets really slick. They're putting some water on it right now to have some grip at the beginning of the night, and as we go on, hopefully it gets slick right to the fence. And to show you guys what I'm talking about, I walked over here to the center of turns 3 and 4. Kind of kneel down here with me. You can see the banking. A lot of times here at Willamette, it'll build a curb directly on the fence, right rear up on it. You can carry a lot of speed, and you can also run right down here by the infield tractor tires. So hopefully they give us a wide surface. Tonight, night number 1, it's gonna be really hard to top. Coos Bay did a phenomenal job giving us wide, slick, and smooth, and hopefully we can repeat that as we keep going through Western Sprint Tour. Let's get the night started. Well, I think we are second overall after qualifying. I was the 7th 360 to roll out of 19 here at Willamette. We'll see if we're able to hold it. The racetrack might get a little bit better. If you would have asked me about 15 minutes ago what I thought of the track conditions, I would have not have had many great things to say. It was super wet, super slimy for engine heat. Hot laps, we were like 2 or 3 seconds off the pace. Not even close to be able to get on the gas, and that was just in certain spots. But then in other spots of the racetrack, for example, the back straightaway, it's already starting to get slick like an A. Carly's on cleaning duty. It got very muddy there in hot laps. Car felt good. I think the only thing I could have maybe done different in qualifying was enter just a little bit higher into 3. I tried 2 different entries and both felt all right, but maybe if I could have moved up a little bit more, I could have carried more speed and came off straighter on exit. So I'll let you guys know where you end up. Like I said, Carly and I are going to be cleaning, watch the rest of qualifying, and see how it goes. Well, a quick look at the Willamette Speedway from the exit of turn 2. I said just a minute ago that I wasn't sure what to think of this place and how it was gonna run tonight just because of what we saw in engine heat and hot laps, but it got much better. We ended up qualifying 4th quick out of 19 cars, so a great start to our night. Here's one last look at the racetrack. I gotta go get in because I'm gonna be in heat race number 1. Carly, where'd we start in the heat? Where'd we finish?
Started 5th and finished 3rd.
What happened on the start?
The inside row went and the outside kind of just took a nap.
Took a nap. That is the term Carly used. No, the outside row did not get a good jump, and with the racetrack being as fast as it is, kind of just a lane off the bottom, that was a good thing for us because we got into 3rd by the front straightaway, and then just for 8 laps, kind of just a choo-choo train right through the middle on the gas, not lifting much, but it is a little technical. It's chunky in some spots, and then it's slick in others, so there is that combination, but I think as these heat races go, since we were the first one, the 2nd and 3rd are just going to burn it off, and it's going to be much more of a racetrack. 5th to 3rd, though, should be enough for the redraw. We're going to watch these other heat races and keep you guys updated on the rest of the night.
All right, pick it. But the kids will be opening them. It looks like here goes container. Tanner Holmes down.
You're keeping it?
He says it's it.
Okay, all right. Now, what are you guys going to do?
It's either going to be 0 or 0 down here.
We've got our next number to find out. A 1 and a 2 still in the middle. The dreaded 6 is still out there somewhere.
6.
It's the 6 for the
Well, last night we pulled a good one. Tonight we did not trade. The young one that was with me didn't want to trade, so I trusted him. We ended up getting the 6th. At least we're on the outside. No worries. I feel like our race car is really, really good. And as we kind of joked about before, this is kind of a test right now. We get 5 more laps on the track, see what it does, try to make our race car better for the feature. No matter where we start in the top 6, if we have a good enough car, we should be able to win the A. Track position obviously does help though. So get all strapped in here, and then we got 5 laps coming up for the dash. Well, they are throwing a little bit of water here on the Willamette Speedway. Track crew is at work. From that little clip, you can probably notice it's a little narrow in 1 and 2. On exit, it's not bad. It kind of gets a little bit closer to the fence. But through most of the corner, they just threw water right here. Through most of the corner, it's just kind of right through the middle, and the rest is fluff, which on camera, this might not look like a whole lot, but it really is. That's at least 2 car lengths, and this place usually develops a pretty big cushion up on the fence if they prep it right. And today it was really hooked up to start, started to slicken off, and I think now that the sun's going down, it's gonna be harder and harder to burn off. But I do agree with throwing a little bit of water on the racetrack just to make sure there's some moisture up there. We started 6th there in the dash after pulling the 6th pill and ended up running 5th. I really started to make some progress on the bottom of 3 and 4 once I found it in the closing laps and ended up catching up to 4th. But we really didn't change our setup from the heat race to the dash. We just wanted to see what it was gonna do, and now we know exactly which direction to head to make it better for the A-main event, because the straightaways are really slick, at least the back stretch is. The front straightaway has a little bit more grip, and then it's pretty fast in the corners. 3 and 4 is a lot slicker than 1 and 2. They have 2 support class features. We'll see what that does to the racetrack, but I don't think it's gonna change a whole lot after what we saw in that dash. So we're gonna be rolling off from 5th in the A. Well, I'm getting ready to hop in the 18T for our 25-lap A-main event. They were originally gonna do 30 laps, but they cut it 5 laps due to possible rubber coming in at some point during the feature. Might get abrasive, rubber might come in, we'll have to see. It almost might come in on the straightaways first because they're getting hit so hard from the sun, which you can kind of see the sun hasn't even set yet. It's just starting to go down in the next few minutes, which we're hoping before we push out there it does, because it's really hard to see entering turn 3. We are rolling off from 5th though. I think if we could just make some good laps in the front first 5 laps, figure things out, and then really start work on going forward. On the initial start, if I have an opening, I would like to gain spots, because on these current track conditions, if rubber were to come in or if it kind of becomes one lane, all the passes on restarts in the initial start are going to be key. But we start 5th, time to climb into the 18T, night number 2 of Western Sprint Tour at the Willamette Speedway. This track, like Coos Bay last night, I think could surprise us with a little bit of the track prep that they did. We're just going to have to see, and I'll talk to you guys after the feature. bad. Man, I wish it wouldn't have got abrasive at the end. I felt like I was really good up until maybe lap 15, and then it just kind of, my line faded, I think, and their line got better, so.
Yeah.
Well, good job, my friend. We'll see you on the back to the front. Third place tonight. Good solid week for you guys so far. Fourth last night. A third here. Going to Banks and going to Cottage Grove. Got to feel pretty good so far. Is that a good assessment?
Absolutely. You know, last time we were at Banks, we ended up winning in our limited for ISCS Speed Week. So we got a couple laps around these tracks. Felt really, really good tonight. I think we would have been a little bit better if that rubber just kind of came in, got a little abrasive at the end because we were working a couple groups above it in 3 and 4. But overall, great race car for us. Great track. Just feels good to kind of get closer and closer to the top of the podium, especially. We kind of struggled a little bit a couple months ago with our 360, so great to get it dialed back in. Well, Dad, what did you think of our run tonight?
Yeah, I thought it was a great run.
Great run for the 18T. Real quickly, just want to thank our partners, Next Gen, OMA KTM, Pit Stop USA, QRC. We also have Earthbit Environmental, On-Site Screeners, Fast 4 Media, ABC Powder Coating, Lafarge North America.
Ronnie Lyons, On-Site
Screeners. Got the guys up here, Carson Oil, our friends at Durango, Ferguson, Swindell Speed Lab, CS Designs. Everyone that makes this race team possible, as well as my family, the crew, Roger. Man, we had a great setup tonight, and honestly, I think if the rubber wouldn't have came in, if the bottom would have just stayed slick and a little dirty and wouldn't have gotten abrasive, I think we might have been the car to beat. I would say probably between laps 5 and 15, we were one of the fastest on the track, and that was behind a couple of other people. Then everyone started spreading out, and then the bottom, 3 and 4, and the kind of the middle of 1 and 2 became the lane, and that was just not the lane that my car was the fastest in. I was working a couple of lanes higher in 3 and 4 where no one was really at, and I felt like we were one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. So I talked about building off our 4th place run at Coos Bay last night. We did exactly that at Willamette with Western Sprint Tour. I guess that's now my career highest run with this touring series in 360s in the Northwest. So that feels good, but man, I really want to win. I want to keep getting closer and closer to the top of the podium. This car has speed, and we are right there. I made some aggressive moves tonight. I got through lap traffic. I was able to slide a couple of my competitors. So that was a lot of fun. I wish I could show you guys the surface, but they shut off all the lights. So many fans at Willamette. I wish they had more sprint car races here. But one more time, I just want to say I'm so proud of the team. After that struggle at Dirt Cup, for us to bounce back, Carly to do well for a couple of weeks. We ran well at the first night of Western Sprint Tour and proved tonight, and now we still have 3 more nights to keep going to chase that victory, chase multiple victories, and also the final night of Western Sprint Tour they announced yesterday is going to pay $5,000 to win. They put some extra money up for grabs, so we're focusing on that end goal as well as trying to continue to gain points throughout the week. I believe we're 4th in Western Sprint Tour points with 3 nights left to chase to get closer to the top. See you guys all at night number 3 at Sunset Speedway Park. Deuces.